What is up, everybody? How's it going? I'm good. We're here for our weekly energy oracle forecast for the week. This is our Sunday night segment where we see what kind of energy the week ahead holds, what kind of energetic weather we're going to be looking at as we navigate these times and spaces. The first card we got was security. This card, okay, so don't get too paranoid, but I have had this card come up for women who were pregnant, or who were expecting, or who were trying to conceive. So this card, that right off the bat, if you're trying to conceive, if you're working on fertility, know this card, know that your loved ones are safe and protected, like kept coming up last week. And with this as well, if this is a fertility issue, or if you're worried about a pregnancy, or if you're trying to conceive, like maybe this is a really good sign. Otherwise, I feel like we are almost like birthing this new level, this new sense of inner security within ourselves. And so it's that feeling of serenity, surrender, being relaxed in the now and not future tripping too much, and trying to make peace, with our past and whatnot, but really in the moment about finding that stable sense of emotional security, of physical security. I know for me, like right after my last serious relationship ended and I took on this place for the first time, part of what made me feel so much security was having a routine that was good for me, and that gave me some structure. And not that I didn't already have that, but I think that leaning into that was very helpful. And just knowing that like basics were taken care of, if you have like a whole bunch of really random loose ends of things that need to be done around the house, like kind of like tackling those things, like really gives you a sense of peace and security, because those things seem mundane, but taking care of those things are what gives your inner child a sense of being looked after and parented. It gives you a sense that someone is driving the ship or running the plane, you know what I'm saying? So, yeah, but otherwise, if you feel triggered or shaken this week, just know that like things are secure and you're secure. And the more that you can lean into your own like sense of emotional security, I think that there will be less chaos around your physical surroundings, because it's usually our own fear and then the reactions that we have in response to that fear that create chaos and upheaval and then create more and more tension around us. So I would say really relax. There's new growth coming in. All of this green coming through the womb here. It just feels like there's a lot of growth happening, but it's in maybe an early stage, right? Maybe what's being created hasn't been birthed yet, but it doesn't mean that it may not bring long-term security and joy and fulfillment. Very exciting. Take a drink of water. I feel like I look different. My phone is new. Very thirsty. I just ate pizza. Yes, I actually ate before the video today. My phone is new, so I upgraded from an 8 Plus to a 14 Pro Max. And so I'm wondering, like, when I upload this, if I'm still going to be all pixelated on the internet or if I'm going to be sharp in HD. I'm recording in HD. I feel like it is like filling in my forehead crinkles. I actually do have little forehead lines, so I don't want anyone to be deceived. They're there. I don't know if this is filtering my face, but I do try to be unfiltered as I can. I do like to color correct my videos though. But yeah, I haven't done my hair today. Like I washed it, but like I went out for an evening walk, and so the humidity made it flat but also puffy. So that's also odd. But yeah, and I have no makeup on and I drank a little bit of wine. So I may have like wine teeth. The color, even though I have my lighting set up, I feel like this like sensor is just filling in all the shadows. I don't know. Sometimes I don't like the way that new cameras overwork themselves. Like, just do what I want you to. Okay, back on track. Back on topic. Okay. What else do we need to know for this coming week about the energy? Okay, what was that? Ooh, good one. Harmony. So what were we just talking about? How when you are triggered and you feel insecurities coming up, you want to be in reactive. Like, even if you're trying not to react, you're probably going off into another space and feeling the reaction or reacting to someone in some way. I have been witnessing my triggers come up recently, but I've also been witnessing the way that I can let go of the trigger and surrender in the moment and then let it pass. And so what has been happening is that if something makes me feel insecure and I'm triggered, it's like in that moment, like, oh, I feel that feeling and I hear that story that starts in my head. But then I realize that I don't have to get caught up in that story and that I can change the channel. I can actually switch my perception in that moment and realize that the insecure feeling of fear and tightness and contractingness, it's just shutting me down. And so it's only going to work against me. And the moment I let go of that fear, like by like, I don't know, all of your courage and might, it's very difficult. And just, it's like, it takes work to feel secure. So maybe in the beginning steps, if you realize that the feeling of insecurity and any of the ideas that follow of like, oh, what should I do about this to fill in the gap with this insecurity? Like, just don't do those things. Just pause and realize that it's mostly your insecurity magnifying the situation, and it's your insecurity taking off and starting to fill in a narrative. Because it's your defense mechanisms in your brain that are working overtime to try to help you survive and win the situation. So by just recognizing that, and that insecurity and whatever that story is telling you and whatever you think that you should be doing to like address that in that moment, it's probably not going to help you. It's probably going to backfire on you. Then at least you can start rewiring yourself to be like, okay, that mindset and that behavior like will not help me. It will actually backfire. And this situation may not be as precarious as I perceive it to be in this moment, you know? And so you can at least slow yourself down. And if you can slow yourself down long enough not to say the thing or to do the thing or to make a big move and like do something you'll regret, you get to let the moment pass. And then sometimes you see that there was never anything to be worried about to begin with. Usually it was the insecurity that was making objects appear bigger than they actually are, kind of thing. So building upon your security, your feelings of your own inner security, but like also your outer security, it's gonna bring more harmony into your life. Like the byproduct of security is harmony. Okay. Ooh, what else? I mean, I feel like this energy is definitely like the last couple of weeks, there's been the duality. There's been, you know, joy and sadness, like action and exhaustion. It's been polarized. But I feel like this week it's like things are starting to level out. Oh my God, we've got rebirth. It's like the energy is shifting, and like we've had these messages the last couple of weeks that things are shifting, that the energy all last week, the messages over and over again were like, there's a shift in energy, like the energy is shifting, things are changing. And I think that this week, it's like, even starting with our energy oracle forecast so far, it has not had that duality to it. It's been security, harmony, rebirth, spiritual rebirth, the transformation, symbolism from the butterfly, the consciousness, the spine here, building that spinal fortitude, that alignment of purpose, of consciousness, right, is bringing on the spiritual rebirth, right? And we're starting to feel hopeful, focused, honed in, vivid, technicolor again, like after feeling gray and black and white. At the beginning of this year, was such a mixed bag of challenge and emotional like depths of like going through all of this stuff. And so now it's like the summertime has actually finally started to shift that wetness of the emotional realms, that depths of the deluge, right? It's finally drying out in the heat of the sun. So I'm feeling very good so far. What was this that came up with it? Protect. So again, your loved ones and your possessions are protected. When this card comes up, I usually don't read it as a warning to make sure everything's protected. The best thing that you can do to make sure that you are protected and that your loved ones and you and yours and your kingdom are protected is honestly just like having that daily prayer practice. Every morning I have a series of prayers that I do where I invite in the presence of the Father, the Mother, the Son, Jesus Christ, the Holy Spirit. I invite the archangels and my guardian angels to be with me and guide me and protect me and lead me and be around, everything that falls under the scope of my affections and love, anything that's under my kingdom, right? My subjects, the people within my love realm, right? All of those things I pray for, and I feel like those things that are connected with me, they can benefit also from that protection and blessing. So prayer, I definitely have my prayer practice in the morning. It's what I do. Like I get my coffee started and I do my prayers. And then during the day, I will pray, but it's more casually. I'm praying out loud to Creator and talking to the Creator about what's on my mind, what's on my heart, things that are the ins and outs of my day. And then at night, before I go to bed, I like to do my prayer routine again. And there are different ones, like I do, I invite all of my spiritual guidance in for the day. But there are different prayers that I do at night. Some of them are the same, but a couple of the bigger ones are switched out. So I do a Kabbalistic prayer of self-nullification at night where you go through a script, but it's basically like, I can't do anything without the Creator, only the Creator can really help me. Only the Creator has the power to improve my fill in the blank. I desire this with all my heart, but I know that it's only the Creator that can help me. I'm willing to surrender everything, my spiritual and physical, to be one with the Creator. Creator, only you know. I can't remember that part, but there is a part, the last line is that you have to forgive. Creator, I completely forgive, fill in the blank. Because I know that everything they did and everything they said was from the Creator and for my highest good. And it doesn't mean that it was right or excusable or justifiable. It just means that what happened was meant to happen to show me parts of myself and to develop my soul and to heal my soul and to grow my soul. And so then there is a portion where you say the prayer in Aramaic, or the Aramaic version of it. And so that's part of my evening prayers. And then I scan Hebrew letters and I say the Shema and the Ana Bakoach. And then I just say some freestyle prayers as I'm falling asleep. And then I'm out like a light and I sleep really well and I wake up refreshed. But yeah, I learned several years ago, I was just telling the story earlier to my friend, that I used to live in a house that was in a busier area and there was just more crime on that particular street. A lot of gunshots, a lot of crimes like playing out like in the front yard all the time. And like police chases going through my backyard and things like that. And they were all pretty much contained. Like people were just criming with each other and I was just like, in the background, but that can be dangerous too, right? So I was pretty scared, and my boyfriend at the time, who we lived together, we were both working in production, and so he would be gone on production sometimes for a couple of months, and I would be home alone, and it would really scare me to go to sleep at night, and I would have a very hard time sleeping, and it was it's very difficult not to get good sleep. Like, I am so grateful for having good sleep. And I just remember one time, like, finally, like, being so tired of being scared and not getting sleep. And I just finally was like hit rock bottom with it. I was just like, you know what? Honestly, like, I'm either going to die overnight or I'm going to survive. And God is watching over me. And whatever, like, when I'm meant to die, I will die. And if I am meant to have a break-in, then I will have a break-in. And if I stay up all night long, I'm not going to prevent this break-in if it's meant to happen. And so I was able to just go to sleep, like, knowing that, like, I'm either fucked or I'm going to survive. But it's up to God. And that's all. And so there's nothing, like, my sense of control is only an illusion, right? So I was able to sleep after that. And it even came in handy, like, when there was a tornado here a couple of years ago, it ravaged the street over, like, and then, like, a lot of the park behind me. It was like, it just leveled, like, acres of trees back there. And I woke up in the middle of the night just by the lightning, just, like, randomly. And I was like, oh, what's going on? Like, it wasn't loud and storming yet. It was just, like, lightning. I could hear the wind was picking up. And I went and looked outside from my French doors downstairs, and, like, the trees, they just looked like there was nothing going to be left of the forest. I couldn't believe it. I couldn't believe what I was seeing. And I didn't know whether they were going to fall on my house. It was crazy. And I was like, well, I guess I should take cover. But then I looked around at the structure, and I was like, realistically, like, even if I get in an inside closet, like, if the house, like, takes, like, too much damage, like, it would collapse in on me. So I'm fucked or I'm okay. So I don't know. We'll see how it goes. And I was just really, really cavalier, and I just kind of watched the whole thing play out. And moments later, someone texted me and they're like, oh my God, are you okay? Like, a tornado just went past your house. And I was like, yeah, I'm fine. Not a shingle was shaken loose on this entire street, but, like, a street over, devastation. It looked like a war zone. And I accredited that to the fact that I pray, like, serious prayer every day for protection around me and for my house and home. And I think that it spread out onto the street because the whole area was destroyed. East Nashville took a beating. But our street, not a trash can was turned over. Nothing happened here. A couple of branches on the ground, not even large branches. It was just like a couple of sticks shaken loose. Like, unbelievable. Do we even pull one more card? Oh, breathe. This has been a very popular theme coming up. Breathe. Breathe in. And you breathe out. And it's not only breathing in, and it's not only breathing out, right? So it's rhythm. Shabbat at the end of every week. It's about rest. It's about action and rest. Action and rest. Effort, relax. Effort, surrender. Effort, release, accept, retreat, right? Together, time apart. Together, time apart. Like, there's a rhythm. It's not all or nothing, right? So just, like, breathing. Just allow the space for whatever fire you are stoking to be oxygenated, because that's what's needed. Yeah, the breath of life. Amazing. It's causing a lot of beauty. So we have security. We have harmony. We have rebirth. We have protect, which pray to protect and know that your loved ones are protected and your possessions. And breathe. If you get worried, if you get scared, if you get nervous, breathe. It's all going to be okay. It's all protected. There's rebirth. There's harmony. There's security. And if you feel like kind of adrift, then maybe to bring more harmony and a sense of rebirth, focus on building your security, your emotional security, but your general, literal mundane security as well. All right, you guys. Well, I hope we have a good week ahead of us. It looks like we are. I will see y'all tomorrow for our anchor message. And I should be back on schedule for the morning for Instagram with our content and our posts, since I have a new phone and the camera's working. All right, y'all. Ciao.